Touching your phone and then putting your hand in your mouth is dirtier than drinking toilet water. Facts that will blow your mind. When you can't get a song out of your head, maybe a spirit is trying to send you a message through it. If a person stands still and his or her breathing changes, he or she is lying to you. Never hold your pee for too long. When you play a game for too long, you will start to dream about it and hallucinate about it on the edges of your vision. This is known as Tetris syndrome. If you are at the pool and get a metallic taste in your mouth, get out of the pool immediately. There is an electrical short somewhere in the water. Never bite your fingernails because they could become like in this picture. Charging your phone under the pillow while you are asleep can cause it to overheat and possibly starting a fire. The colder the room you sleep in, the better the chances are that you will have a nightmare. Never fart very loudly in the middle of the night. If a voice calls you and you realize there is no one there, don't respond and keep your eyes closed because it's the voice of a spirit. If you sleep with your mouth open, you have a 20% chance to eat at least one insect. In UK, if someone asks to sleep at your house, you are obligated to let that person sleep. Otherwise, you could be arrested. When you talk, you don't hear your real voice. That's why you find it weird to listen to your own voice recordings. Breathing in India is equivalent to smoking 10 to 15 cigarettes. People who talk to themselves are less likely to develop a mental problem because they are already crazy. 8,000 years ago, humans used cow milk to make cave paint, and no one thought to drink it. Your mind can sense someone staring at you even while asleep, which explains why you wake up randomly in the middle of the night. Sleeping with the feet uncovered is basically inviting spirits to grab them. Our body's ability to heal and repair itself is greatly affected by our beliefs, thoughts, emotions, and intentions. Peeing in the shower instead of the toilet just once a day can save up to 2,000 liters of water per person every year. Your body is only 11 months old because almost every cell in your physical body is replaced every 11 months, except for brain cells, which are replaced after 7 years. Make sure you always have a secret hiding place in case of a home invasion. Your fingernails contains more bacteria than your toilet. Your parents can see your search history through Wi-Fi bills. If you got stabbed by a sharp object, leave that object in because it is blocking the blood from spilling out. You are more likely to lose your life by a vending machine than by a shark. Studies show that blue is the most favorite color. About 7,000 people die every year due to doctors' bad handwriting. In Norway, if someone asks you for money, you are obliged to give them money. Otherwise, you can be imprisoned for up to 3 years. If your hair is falling out, be careful. Your life might be in danger. Somebody has been constipated for 45 days. In 2013, an unfortunate Indian woman had to undergo surgical removal of a fecal mass as large as a football. Did you know that it is possible to become so constipated that you will start shitting on your mouth? In ancient times, people used urine to whiten their teeth. When a person leaves this world, their brain stays active for about 7 minutes and no one knows what happens during that time. In Canada, people are required to offer food to any stranger knocking on their door. Otherwise, you could be imprisoned up to 4 years. About 20% of the world still doesn't know what the internet is and has never held a cell phone. In the 13th century, Pope Gregory IV declared war on cats. He said that black cats were instruments of Satan. This action led to more rats, which caused more diseases. Never shout at your dog because shouting will affect its mental health. Never fart under a blanket. A fart can deadly kill you. Your body gets weak during 3 to 4 a.m. This is the time when most people lose their lives. Don't try to look at yourself in the mirror in the middle of the night because your reflection isn't actually you. Never sleep with the windows open. If you're sleeping and get bit by a random bat that flew in your open window and you wake up and don't realize you have been bit, once you start to show symptoms, it's already too late. If you ever fall off the edge of the subway platform or onto the tracks, don't waste your time trying to go back up. There is a crawl space built underneath there, and you should go there instead. If you are being chased by a polar bear, get completely naked and drop your clothes as you run away. Polar bears have bad ADD and will firmly inspect your clothes before chasing you. The machines that set the pins of the bowling alleys are extremely dangerous. If you slide into the pins as a joke, there is a very good chance that you will lose your life. If you see a person drunk but they haven't had any alcohol, tell the person to smile. If it's drooping, they're having a stroke. If there's a cinnamon smell in your drink, don't drink it. It's a cover-up for poison. If your hair randomly stands up outside, duck and cover, or you will get struck by lightning. Never sit on the toilet for more than 5 minutes. Every time when you sit on the toilet, it is possible a rat or a snake snake to crawl up under the toilet to bite you and cause infections. When you shower while the toilet seat is up, the warm shower steam can make the poop particles and the germs from the toilet to go into the air, and these germs might get into your breathing or onto your skin. If you eat one piece of chicken every day for a year, it's enough to give you cancer. Believe it or not, in some countries, eating or biting your own fingernails is considered cannibalism. One day, one of the photos you've taken will be used at your funeral. In United Kingdom, there is a law that makes it a crime to have contact with extraterrestrials. If you do so, you could be arrested. Chainsaws were originally invented for cutting women during childbirth. If you ever get kidnapped, call the cops and act like you are ordering a pizza, because they will recognize what you are trying to do, as they are trained for this. If you scream for 8 years, 7 months, and 6 days, you would produce enough energy to heat a cup of coffee. Every time you laugh, you burn about 3.5 calories. If you want to make somebody like you, just get them to do small favors for you. There are gases inside you right now. If mixed, you would explode immediately. If a voice calls you and you realize that no one is there, don't respond and keep your eyes closed. Never imitate the voice of an animal when you are in a forest. Breathing in India is equivalent to smoking 10 to 15 cigarettes. On average, you pass by 15 murderers in your life without knowing it. The oldest known living tree is over 48,000 years. It's bristlecone pine named Mathusala, located in California. Your mind can sense someone staring at you even while asleep, which explains why you wake up randomly in the middle of the night. 2 to 3 a.m. is considered the devil's hour, because most paranormal activities happen at this time. If you ever see a frog in your living room, run to the hospital. If you are walking downstairs, don't put your hands in your pockets, just in case you fall. In United Kingdom, a pregnant woman can urinate anywhere, including a policeman's hat. In Beijing, it's allowed to marry a dog. Never use your phone while sitting on the toilet. In ancient times, the practice of using urine as a teeth whitener was common due to its ammonia content, which acted as a natural bleaching agent. In ancient times, the practice of wife selling was legal in England until the early 20th century, allowing men to auction off their wives to the highest bidder. The average high school kid has the same level of anxiety as the average insane asylum patient in the early 1950s. It is believed that when you die in a dream, you wake up because your brain cannot process what comes after. Covering mirrors is a death ritual passed down over centuries by many cultures around the world. Some believe that the spirit becomes confused after seeing its reflection. If you ever smell popcorn when there is none around, go to the hospital as soon as possible. If you hold your pee for too long many times, it might make it hard for you to pee when you need to, or cause pee leaks. Drinking 2 glasses of water when you wake up can help you feel happier, sharper, and will make your skin cleaner. Before you poop, put some tissue paper in the toilet to avoid any splash of water when you poop. If you want to know what your breath smells like, just lick your wrist, let it dry, and smell it. Never eat while using your phone. Human skulls were used as cups and bowls in ancient times. Over 80% of people who go missing while camping are never found. A Sesame Street episode in 1976 scared children so much that their parents were calling the authorities to remove it. The episode was never shown again. Lamborghini was founded because the owner, Ferruccio Lamborghini, got frustrated when his Ferrari broke down and the company wouldn't honor warranty. The reason that we shake when we get cold is because our body is trying to contract and relax our muscles to generate some heat. You can feel when someone is looking at you, and it's called gaze direction. It's the sense that your brain uses when someone's staring at you. There is a small hole in your eyelids called lacrimal punctum that drains your tears to your nose. This is the reason why you get a runny nose after crying. If you got stabbed or punctured by a sharp object, leave the object in because it is blocking the blood from spilling out. If someone points a gun at you, hold eye contact with that person, because eye contact makes it harder to pull the trigger. If you suddenly feel chest pain, especially if it's accompanied by nausea, shortness of breath, or pain in your arm or jaw, call emergency services immediately. It could be a sign of a heart attack. When any body part of a pregnant woman gets damaged, the baby in her womb sends her cells and fixes that part. If you are ever at a party and your drink tastes unusually salty, do not continue drinking it. In 1844, in a French convent, one nun started meowing like a cat, and then all the nuns began meowing together every afternoon. It didn't stop until neighbors called soldiers to stop it. In the late Middle Ages, books were so valuable that libraries would chain them to the bookcase. This was widely practiced practiced until the 18th century. In the 19th century, people were buried alive so often, so they made a safety coffin. The coffin had the ability to alert other people from the ground. Until 1986, doctors believed that babies could not feel pain, so they did surgeries on babies without giving them medicine to sleep or not to feel pain. The reason that Allied forces had net on their helmets was because to reduce the helmet's shine when wet and add additional camouflage. It's literally impossible to write your name in the comments with your nose. Approximately 2,100 children are reported missing every day in the US, or one every 40 seconds. Most seats are designed so you cannot tell how dirty they really are. If you get dizzy when you stand up, that means you are too low on iron. Did you know that the thumb is the only finger that can touch all of your other fingers? Hating the sound of someone breathing or eating is called misophonia and is an actual brain disorder. If the ice in your drink isn't floating, do not drink it. No matter how thirsty you are, your drink has been poisoned.